Folks, we got a really interesting test today. We've got two identical tillers, except one of them spins backwards. We're going to compare these two tillers in several different circumstances, several different type of environments. And just to try to show you the differences, let's get started. I asked my friend Dave to come help me because I wanted to see two of these tillers at the same time. Didn't want to switch them. So thanks for coming, Dave.
Glad to be here.
So you got a 1025R. Now, had you seen our channel before you purchased or after?
I did not. I'd started searching on how I could use it in different ways after I got it, and you were one of the first video producers I found that had a lot of content, so I started watching.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. And now Dave's got his own tiller. He just didn't bring it today because we wanted to compare these two identical tillers. Now, I believe you've got the reverse rotating one, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, at home now you've got a regular forward rotating one.
Yes.
Just like mine. And so this is going to be new for both of us. The only reverse tine tiller I've used has been like a Troy-built walk-behind tiller. They all spin in reverse. And usually they spin in reverse so that they don't run away from you, right? I mean, that way the propulsion tires spin forward and the tines spin in reverse, and they kind of work together to
keep you moving along.
And keep you from killing yourself.
Rather than dragging yourself across the garden.
You've got Pat's Easy Change hitch on your tractor.
Yes.
I've got the iMatch quick hitch. You've got a bucket on your loader. You've got the non-self-leveling. Hey, we're going to get to that another episode. You've got the non-self-leveling. I've got the self-leveling. Other than that, these tractors pretty much the same. Well, I've got wheel weights and rim guard. You don't have any tire fluid, so your tractor's a little bit lighter. I don't know that it'll matter any for this test. I think this is more about how the tiller just grinds and handles this soil. Tell you a little about the soil conditions. It's dry as a bone. So we really haven't had any appreciable moisture in 2 months. Hey Dave, before you get started, tilling's loud. It is. I mean, you got to run the tractor wide open throttle. I think you need some hearing protection, and I really do appreciate you coming out today. So we got you some ISOtunes, the extra model. That's my favorite, as you know.
I appreciate that.
Now, when you open this up, there are several different size tips included. So it may take you just a minute. I'll be patient. Choose the tip that you want that fits you the best, and then we'll get ready to get going.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is the reverse tine. Notice that it's throwing a lot of soil forward. It sure is running quietly. Well, maybe my ISOtunes are working really well. So, as Dave's driven along here, he's getting a pile of trash up in front of the tiller. I'm not used to seeing that. The reverse tine just keeps bringing that trash forward. Watch that closely here. It doesn't really resolve itself. The trash pile just keeps getting bigger. Dave, what did you think about this?
I think it pulled really nice, but we've got a little bit of
trash
left over that it didn't
it just kept piling up in front. Now, obviously, we could have stopped and raised up and kicked that around a little bit and got away with it. But now, we had both of these tillers set as deep as we could set them. So, you know, it looks like to me, at least right here, tilling depth maybe 2 inches.
Roughly, yeah.
Now, tilling depth is hard to kind of diagnose because right behind the tiller, it's fluffed up the soil and it makes it look like it's deeper. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that?
You're right. But you look along the side where you've got an edge cut and you see.
Yeah, and that's with any kind of a tiller. Now, with the reverse tine, see this pile of dirt here? You brought that pile of dirt, not the trash, but just the...
Yeah, the dirt here as well as... But yeah, it's brought it forward instead of leaving it pushed backwards.
Yeah.
Like the
and I remember seeing that with a walk-behind reverse rotation as well. Well, let's try the other tiller. Now, this is a traditional forward tine tiller. Both of these tillers, by the way, meet all of my tiller qualifications. There's 6 tines per flange, gear driven, quick hitch compatible, and they have one new feature. Well, I shouldn't say new, but one feature that I have discovered based on my first tiller that I really want, and that is protection on that seal in there by the gearbox. My gearbox was exposed and it has a leak to this day that I haven't got around to fixing. These tillers have that protected so that you can't get in there and have the leak. Let's see if Dave's ready to get started. Equally quiet. It's very nice. So far, about halfway through the field, no trash. Obviously not as big a pile of soil in front either because it's spinning this direction. Okay, Dave, that's after one through with the forward rotation. What do you think?
It's more like expected from
our experience.
Yeah, our experience of using it. But yeah, we don't have the pile in front of us that we had at the end of the
trash
trail
and
on the other.
no soil even in the middle. Yeah.
No.
I think it might be a little bit deeper.
I think so.
And that is unexpected. We have the depth stops up on both of them as high as they'll go. We might just do a comparison somewhere in the middle and actually try to measure a depth. Now, Dave, I plant my corn sideways, right? So every 36 inches, there's a little bit of a hump in the corn itself. Over near the end there where you were running the reverse tine, I didn't notice much humps left by the tiller.
True.
Here, with the forward tine, look at this.
And
you've
got kind of a washboard effect every.
And I noticed that as you were driving along there, you could see that it would push your tractor forward.
Yeah.
It would grab one of those humps and it would push your tractor forward, and then it would slow down, and then it would sort of surge the tiller, and I think that's what caused those humps.
I believe so.
Well, how about if I try each of them for a through?
That sounds good.
And you analyze and see what you think. This tractor feels just like my first Johnny.
So do you think that felt like old Johnny?
It made a warm spot in my heart. You know, there's not a lot of changes, but there are just enough that you can kind of recognize the difference.
Yeah.
Now, as far as tilling, it pulled harder. I mean, I noticed you were spinning your wheels in two-wheel drive. I'm not sure you could have kept going in two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But it pulled because it's rotating against me. Counter-rotating, I guess is what they call it, and it truly is. Now, I overlapped a little bit, so I think that's why it went deeper.
Yeah, because it certainly does look deeper on this side than what it does.
That's true of any tiller, right? The skid can go in and kind of bury itself.
Yeah.
I still got the trash. I don't know, but I didn't get humps nearly as bad as what this forward tine did. Let me try the forward tine. Now, this is the first time I've ran this tiller, so it may turn out to be just like any other tiller that I've operated. Now, I'm not actively trying to resist this forward surge, but I can feel it.
Now, I noticed as you was coming down there, I could actually see the tiller kind of riding up and down over those corn rows. Washboard.
It really feels like it. I mean, you can feel the tractor surge forward.
With every
and I didn't feel
row.
that with the reverse tine.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Tilling job, it looks better to me.
Yeah, it looks finer, not as coarse as what you see over there.
Yeah. Now, what you had pointed out off camera was that when you take a forward tine tiller and where you start, you throw a hump up.
Right.
And then at the far end, you leave a valley. With the reverse tine, it's very smooth at the start, and both the hump and the valley are where you pick up.
Uh-huh.
So That's another difference. Boy, that reverse tine tiller is burying itself now. I mean, it is tilling deep. It's all Johnny wants. There's no way you can handle a 5-foot reverse tine in this soil. Boy, that was a different experience.
That was. Johnny was struggling on that one a little bit.
Absolutely, and it was going to China.
I think that's because I had tilled ground on either side, so it was digging deeper.
It was burying itself. I mean, that is deep tilling.
Yeah.
You know,
we've got probably good 6 inches or
good
better
6
now.
inches on that. And it was pulling hard.
Mm-hmm.
Even as dry as it was. If this had been wet, you wouldn't have been able to pull it.
No. We do it low and slow, just like the barbecue grill.
Did somebody say barbecue?
Smoker.
Can we have a cheeseburger? It's clear to me that I create more waves with the forward tine than you do. The only place I see waves is where you were following me on this right side, where I already had the waves. It would be interesting to see if on my second trip over, I begin to smooth those waves out or if they just get more pronounced. I would say this is round number 1 complete. I saw the reverse tine bring more trash up. I saw the forward tine make more waves. Those are the 2 negatives that I saw.
It might be smoother this time.
It might have smoothed out a little bit. The reverse tine stayed very level.
And I think the second pass too, we didn't get as much trash brought up, probably because we've chopped it up a little bit by now.
Yeah, so maybe the trash issue, you get through it on your second pass, maybe it's not as big of an issue. It looks to me like the forward tine has tilted a little bit finer, or maybe the rear tine is going deeper, and so it's pulling up more soil the first time.
It could be, because I know this went deeper on the second pass, and so yeah, it
was all your tractor could handle.
It was, yeah.
This right here is...
yeah, almost stalled it out a couple of times had I not slowed down.
Yeah, I believe that's why it's not showing up as fine, because I believe this is the first time this has been tilled.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Round number 2 is this plowed surface over here. I did not show the video of my attempt to plow this soil because the little plow just didn't do very well. I was afraid it showed the plow in a worse light than was fair because the ground was so hard. It was plowing up these head-sized clods.
Yeah.
But what I would like to do is for us to each take 1 pass with our respective tillers and see, well, just to see if they can handle it. Ride him, cowboy!
I'd say that's the first time I've been four-wheeling with Johnny.
It's an adventure, wasn't it?
But without any weights, he still managed to get through it.
Yeah, and I bet that tiller did pull a little bit. I didn't notice that, of course, the front tine didn't pull very hard.
With yours, I saw a lot of bounce in it as you were going through those clods and so forth.
Okay.
I'm sure.
I did not see that with yours.
Really?
I did not see it bounce. Now, it was making quite a racket.
Yeah.
I mean, it was loud as can be, and I don't know how mine sounded from the rear. It looks to me like, now it's not totally fair because I was a little bit in the furrow here, and you know, it wasn't perfect, but it looks to me like the rear tine did a little better job of chopping it up. Well, I tell you what, how about if you drive right back along this side?
Clean it up.
And I'll follow over here, and we'll see what it looks like after 2 trips. But so far, I'm giving the reverse tine round number 2. What do you think?
I agree.
You know, I've got to share a dirty little secret with you, Dave.
What's that?
We're doing all this in the name of science, right? We're testing the reverse tine, reverse rotation versus the forward rotation.
Yeah.
I just got my garden tilled.
Wow. How about that? What am I going to do now?
You know, after the second round, it still looks to me like that the reverse tine was handling these clods a little better than the forward tine.
Yeah, because this is now getting fairly fine, kind of like what we had over there.
Now, both of these tillers are available at agfolks.com. Use code TTWT, you get a 5% discount. We're actually shooting this video in the fall, in October, after we've harvested the sweet corn and mowed it all down. This video won't be posted until the tillers are available on AgFolks, so I'm not sure when you're actually seeing this. But go to agfolks.com, you can get either the forward or the reverse tine. The point of this was to show 2 identical tillers, so that we weren't competing brands or competing features. We're simply competing
just different rotations.
Different rotations. Let's continue at your garden.
Cool.
Okay, so Dave, we're at your house for rounds 3 and 4. Round 3 is going to be sod. You said that you wanted maybe a little bit bigger garden. How are we going to do that?
Well, we'll just start down here at this end and go south.
Okay, so a couple or 3 passes over here and some on that side of the garden. It's going to get bigger in both directions, okay?
Right.
What do you think?
I'm thinking for fresh dirt, we don't see the waving that we saw cutting through the corn rows at your place.
No, we don't see the waving.
They look a little bit more even.
The depth looks to be
pretty darn close.
Identical.
Yeah. They're both going down about 2.5 inches.
If anything, this looks a little bit more powdery than that, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. And we saw that at your place also.
Yeah, we saw the front tine, or the forward rotating maybe being a little bit more powdery.
Yeah.
We see a little bit more hump at the end.
Yeah.
With the reverse rotation. Round 3. Pretty much a draw, maybe a little bit in favor of the forward tine.
But yeah, the forward tine I think is doing a little bit better job overall.
Okay, next up is round number 4. This is the final round, and we are going to till your last year's garden. Now, what we'll do is we'll just start back here with the sod. We'll give it a second trip. I'll start on one side and you can start on the other, and we'll go right through your tomatoes. We'll see how it handles the vines.
Yeah.
All the way back and forth. What do you say? And until we meet in the middle.
A couple passes for each of us and we got it, I believe.
Yep, I believe so. Round number 4, your garden. What'd you think?
I think, well, we don't have any of our washboard effect, but then our corn didn't come out like yours, and it was closer
Yeah.
together. So I think that probably led to a little smoother, because
Yeah.
that was down here on this end.
Now, I saw your tiller have a little trouble with the tomato vines, the trash again.
Yeah, like brought some with it.
Yeah, it carried it up front, didn't it? And,
Uh-huh.
and when you turned around, then you overlapped enough to take care of it. You learned that when you turn around, you just have to overlap a little bit, grab that trash. And overall, on this number 4, I think I would give it to the forward rotation because of the handling of the trash, and it's still just a little bit more powder.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
agree.
Hypothetical. You've got to buy a tiller today, and you've got to buy either of these 2 machines. They're identical in weight. They're identical in, maybe even in price. Everything else. Which one of these 2 tillers are you going to buy?
I would probably go with the standard one that rotates
Forward.
as opposed to the reverse.
And why?
Just predictability. There's more like it out there to compare notes with others
Yeah.
and so forth.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting
And-
perspective. What I saw today was I would choose the same one. I would
Mhm.
choose the forward rotating.
Mhm.
I didn't like the trash handling of the reverse.
Right.
I thought it took more tractor power. Your
It
tractor
did.
was really pulling hard, even on the first trip over.
Yeah. Whereas the forward reverse one, it's almost pushing the tractor along.
Yeah, so I didn't have to expend much tractor power to pull the tiller, did I? It was just
No,
I was
right.
focusing on rotating. One test we weren't able to do was just a lot of rocks or roots. Maybe I'll get an opportunity to do that at a later time. We till a lot of areas that are just full of roots, full of rocks, and I'm afraid that rocks will just be, by the reverse rotation, will continually be thrown in front of the tiller, and your whole path down you're going to be
Pushing rocks.
pushing the same rocks and beating on the tiller the whole way. So I've really enjoyed this.
I have too.
I've learned some things, advantages and disadvantages that I didn't know about. Folks, let us know in the comments which ones you think you would buy based on this, or which one you have and why. But remember, tiller rule number 1, it doesn't matter what tiller you have, you're gonna love it. I mean, look what this stuff did in one pass. I mean, it's powder. These things are amazing.
They are.
So, thanks, Dave.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim.
My question is, did you kill your mouse? You had a mouse right in front of yours, and then there was another mouse came over here, and I don't know if I got him or not.
I did. Yeah, and I didn't see it, so.
You were looking right down at it. I thought you were watching it. It was right here, right as you were coming out. That's okay, new Johnny. I love you too. I wasn't trying to say anything bad. Just, it's okay.